Hello, welcome to today's class on understanding geography with diagrams. First of all, let's today we'll be talking about the climatic classification. Now there are two keywords over here. First is your climate and second is your climatic classification. What do you basically mean by climate? Climate is nothing but the aggregate long-term average weather condition over a larger space and over a longer time. Space and time. Understood that. Next. Now, the climatic classification basically we can divide it into three categories, that is a genetic, empirical, and applied category. What is this basis of this genetic classification? The genetic classification is based upon the cause, means what is the cause of this climate. If there are forests, say if there is a tropical rainforest, they saw what is the cause of having a rainforest. They saw no, so heavy precipitation, so precipitation is the cause. They saw that and they say that. They never observed, they never took the statistics into. Statistics means what is the temperature, what is the pressure. So this is the thing. Now if they use the cause, the empirical guys use the statistics, they use the experiment, they took down the correct measurement of the temperature, pressure to determine what is the climatic type. Similar was the condition for the applied category. Next, it as a result of this, it frequently changed. Means today the precipitation is let's say 300 centimeter. Tomorrow there is no precipitation, drought. So hence this frequently changed. Genetic classification did not have any kind of a stability. However, the empirical classification they had a kind of stability because they went on for seeing that key yes, with the pressure temperature changes, and with the temperature there is variation in your precipitation and all. So basically this was more stable, and hence applied category was also more stable. Now remember that the Koppen's classification is nothing but a empirical classification, and Thornwright classification is nothing but your applied classification. Remember this. In the first video itself, basically we're dividing the video into two parts, part 1 and part 2, and in the first video itself we'll be discussing the Koppen's. First of all, Koppen's classification background. Koppen was basically a German Russian guy, not a guy, sorry, a climatologist. His full name was Vladimir Koppen. Koppen introduced his climatic classification, which I have made it for CC, in 1918. In 1936, he further added the HT or the altitude, or I to say the mountain type of climate into his classification. Basically, Koppen used the three category of symbols. This is the label one. This label one symbol is basically he borrowed this from the D. Candolle. Who is D. Candolle? He was the first to give this classification of the climate. His classification was genetic category, and his classification was based upon the vegetation. But what did Koppen take? Koppen in his Koppen basically took climate and vegetation, though he was inspired from De Candolle, but apart from taking vegetation, he took climate into consideration. So basically A equals to tropical type of the climate, and we call it as the megatherm. B equals to dry, xerophyte. C equals to subtropics, mesotherm. D is your temperate, microtherm. E is your polar. And H type of the climate that was added in 1936. And this is the respective type of the vegetation. You can basically read it. Next, let's go on to the level 2 symbol. Level 2 symbol, first we use the W and S. W is for the desert and S is for the steppe. These two symbols are used only for your B type of climate. Next, we had T for tundra, F for frosted. Frosted is nothing but frozen. Next, again we have the F type of the symbol. F means precipitation well distributed throughout the year. M means 70% of the annual precipitation in 3 months. S means dry summer but winter rain. W means dry winter, hence summer rain. See, this is the thing that you have to understand this. Let's go step by step, and basically by the time you'll understand it now. Level 3, it's used again two types. H for hot summer with temperature greater than 18 degrees centigrade. K is less warm summer with temperature greater than 18 degrees centigrade. Again, this is used with the B type of the climate. Now again we have the third symbol A, B, C, D. Now just tell me, now one thing you must need to know that, sir, now basically you would be asking, sir, do we need to remember all this? Basically I would say First understand the thing, then you can basically remember all this. Before understanding, don't give it a thought that you will remember first all this. No, first understand what I'm trying to say. First, we'll go for the A type of the climate. What is this A type of the climate? A type of the climate again is basically your tropical type of the climate. How do we know this? Because of this, A equals to tropical type of the climate. Hence, in the A type of the climate, again we have three types of the climate: A, F. A is the first order symbol, F is the second category symbol. First of all, this equatorial kind of the climate is located between where? 10 to 30 degree north and south. Annual precipitation how much? 300 centimeter. In effect of maritime equatorial air mass. Annual range of temperature is less than 5 degrees centigrade. Example is your Amazon. See, what was the A type? Now look at this over here. A was tropical, and then F. F means precipitation well distributed throughout the year. Understood? Simple. Hence, this is the well distributed precipitation throughout the year. Means throughout the year, this equatorial area receives 300 centimeter of rainfall. Example is your Amazon basin, Congo basin. Next, AM is nothing but your monsoonal type of the climate, and AW is nothing but your savanna type of the climate. What is the M type of climate? M type of the climate, as we see in the symbol, it says it receives 70% of the precipitation in 3 months. Now let's take consideration of India. Now in India, what happens is that we receive precipitation in the month of June, July, August, and by the end of the September, the precipitation is no more. Understood? Similarly, look at this W. W was used for the savanna. W means dry winter, hence rainfall in summer. So basically with this you can say that in the AM type of the climate, that it is located between 10 to 30 degree north and south in the coastal area, and AW is the savanna climate. Again it is located between 10 to 30 degree but in the continental interior. Receives 100 centimeter of rainfall. This receives 100 centimeter of precipitation. Why? Because of the maritime tropical air mass and cyclones. In India we are affected by cyclones, but over here it is the continental tropical air mass. Why not the cyclones affect us? Because it's located interior. Next, I hope you got the meaning of M and you got the meaning of W in this context. Now remember one thing, please please wait for the end of the video, and by the end of the video I will simply give you a short formula, simple a diagrammatic formula through which you can remember all this. Nothing, it's not a big deal. Next, we have the B type of climate. The B type of the climate is divided into two categories, the W and S. S for steppe, W for desert. Now again this B type of the climate is developed into two categories, that is H and K. H for hot, K for cold. Cold, hence K. Hot means H. Now BWH type of the climate is located in the western part of the continent. Air mass, basically the air mass, that is the subtropical high pressure prevails over here, hence the offshore wind, hence continental tropical, hence it's the subtropical high pressure zone. As a result of it is the prevailing offshore wind, and this is the example. This is your Sahara desert in the African continent. It is the prevalence of this high pressure of air that results in the offshore wind. Now one of you could ask me a question, sir, isn't this a very hot area, hence there should be low pressure? Now basically I would say, please do not associate with that. Remember that high pressure can be associated both with the arid region as well as with the cold region. For this I'll make a separate video and explain it to you. Now though despite of this it receives a 50 centimeter of rainfall. Why? This 50 centimeter is nothing but your torrential rainfall. What is torrential rainfall? Please refer to my notes. Everything is in my notes. No need to copy down anything over here. Just understand this. Next, we have the BWK. K means cold. It is nothing but your continental interior desert. This is nothing but your west margin desert. And this is nothing but your continental interior desert. Again, this is the Kalahari and the Patagonia Gurbantu deserts. One, I can say you that Kalahari is over here. Please do tell me in the comment section where is Patagonia and where is Gurbantu. Next, is the BWK type of the climate is nothing but your continental interior deserts. These are also called as the cold desert. Why? Because of the rain shadow interior. Next, the precipitation over here is 0 to 20 centimeter. That's it, nothing else. Next, BS is your steppe type of the climate. Again, with the steppe type of the climate, we have the continental the steppe type of climate is in the continental interior climate. It's a precipitation of 25 to 75 centimeter, well distributed throughout the year. Next, as per the location, there are two types. BS type is the BSK and the BSH. BSK is the high latitudinal steppe and BSK is the high latitudinal steppe and BSH is the low latitudinal steppe. The example is Canadian prairie, Eurasian steppe. And over here, the BSH example is your prairie of US. We have the pampas and we have the veld. And with again, I would request you to comment where is pampas and where is veld in the in the comment section. Next, the C type of the climate is of the third category. It's the subtropical climate. Again, the C type is of again three types. One is your CS. S means Mediterranean. The S symbol means that in the summer is dry and winter there is rain. So in the Mediterranean region, we have the subtropical western margin. It is located in the subtropical western margin. It is in the hot summer droughts and precipitation of 15 to 75 centimeter in winter in effect of the westerlies. Now, there is a famous country with which India has developed the Barak 8 missile, and that country has the Mediterranean type of the climate. Again, I want the answer in the comment section. Next, the CF type of the climate is also called as your wet margin climate, with the 125 to 130 centimeter of the well distributed rainfall throughout the year in effect of the westerlies. Next is your CFB. Again, yes, two types of symbol that we'll be using, that is your CFB and your CFC. CFB is nothing but your Northern European type of the climate, and CFC is nothing but your British Columbia. The Northern European type of the climate has developed in effect of the warm westerlies, whereas this has developed in the effect of the cold oceanic current. Next, we have the CW or the China type of the climate. Again, this is located in the subtropical east, with the precipitation amount being 150 centimeter due to the summer rainfall in the effect of the northeast trade winds and the weak polar outbreak. Next, with respect to the D type of the climate, we have two D type. One is the Manchurian type, another is the taiga. What is the Manchurian type? It's nothing but your North China region. Again, it is located in the eastern margin with the 100 centimeter of the rainfall in effect of the onshore winds during summer and polar outbreak during winter. Next, we have the DF type of the climate with 30 centimeter of precipitation and frontal precipitation of 60-degree latitude. Again, the DF type of the climate is divided into four types. This is your European plain, this is your Siberian plain, this is your Siberian plateau, and this is your Siberian mountain. Means as we go from the west to east, the temperature decreases. And please look at you do not need to write anything, just simply this writing is enough. And please wait, again I would say wait till the last, and I'll just show you a short trick. Next, we have the E types of the climate, E, T and EF. ET means tundra, EF means frosted. The tundra type of the climate basically receives 20 centimeter precipitation in the summer due to the frontal effect. I hope you have read or seen the video on the temperate cyclone. Over there I have explained how does the tundra type of the climate gets its effect. Next, this type of the climate is confined up to 80 degree, and your Frank Joseph Island is the limit. Next, we have the EF, that is a cold polar desert with 6 months of day and 6 months of night. With this, I would request you, last but not least, the H type of the climate or the mountain type of the climate. The mountain type of climate is regulated by four things. First of all is the sign of latitude. Now, within the sign of latitude, you'd see that the mountains which are in the tropical region have a different kind of a vegetation when compared to the mountains of the temperate region. Next, with respect to height, it says that, let us consider this as the Himalaya. Now, in the lower part of the Himalaya, you will find tropical deciduous forest. As you move on, you will find what? The temperate forest. As you move on, what you will find? You will find that this tundra type of the climate, and over here is completely frosted. Next, the sun bearing slope. Let us take the example of the Himalayas. In the Himalayas, what happened? Your southern slopes are the sun bearing. Southern slopes means towards which India is facing, and the northern slopes are not sun bearing, as a result of which more vegetation you'd find in the southern slopes when compared to the northern slopes. Again, there is a maritime influence. Now what happens is that within now, obviously, if there is the wind, that is the maritime wind coming from this side, so obviously this is your rain bearing area, and this becomes your rain shadow area. So this is for your understanding. You do not need to write all this, just simple 4 point of mentioning would do enough. Now, as I had promised, the simple trick to show you how to remember this all. Let's see. Done. 0 degree, 10, 30, 60. No, sorry, I just did a mistake. It's 32, 45, 45 to 60, 60 to 70 to 80, and then let's complete this. Now simple is that first this is your AF. AF is nothing but your equatorial climate. Just remember 300 centimeter with ME means maritime equatorial air mass. Now this is over here is your AM type of the climate. I just write it over here. 200 means 200 centimeter of rainfall. AW is nothing but your savanna type of the climate with 150 centimeter of rainfall. 100 to 150, anything is fine. Now we have over here is your western side desert. What should I write? BW. See, over here there are two deserts. BWH or BWK, which one should we write? I'll write over here BWH, and since this is continental interior, this is BWK. Next, we have a 50 centimeter of rainfall. Over here we have a 20 centimeter of rainfall. Next we have your CS type of the climate. What was the CES type of the climate? CES was nothing but your Mediterranean type of the climate with the almost you have a 100 centimeter of rainfall. And then we have over here, what is it? Yes, we have the CW. What was the CW type of the climate? CW type of the climate was nothing but your China type of the climate. We have over here 150 centimeter of a rainfall. Next over here we have your DW type of the climate, and then we have over here in the continental interior is the steppe type of the climate, BS. Now which would be hot, which would be cold? This would be hot, this would be cold. Why? More nearer to the poles, hence frontal precipitation. Now over here we have the 120 centimeter of well distributed rainfall throughout the year. Over here is how much? It is 25 to 50 centimeter of the rainfall. It is 50 to 75 centimeter of the rainfall. Again over here we have a 100 centimeter rainfall only. See, done. Now if let's start from yes, again we have the DF type of the climate with 30 centimeter of rainfall. ET 20 centimeter rainfall, and last but not the least EF, that is frosted. See, now how I explain the entire thing. Now AF type of the climate, that is the equatorial type of the climate, located between 0 to 10 degrees centigrade with 300 centimeter of the annual rainfall, influenced by the maritime equatorial air mass. Go for the AM type of the climate, located where? In the tropical eastern margin climate, receives 70% of the rainfall in the 3 months period with 200 centimeter of the rainfall, influenced by what? Again nothing but your maritime tropical air mass. And then we have the AW type of the climate, continental interior type of the climate, receiving the rainfall when it receives the rainfall during the summer, because we have used the symbol W. W means dry winters and wet summer. Next we have the BWH type of the climate. Again BWH is located where? In the western margin of the continent. Similarly CS is also located in the western margin, but between 30 to 45. See, just look at this and just look at the latitude, which is the climate, what is the rainfall, done with that. You're looking at the location, climate, and with the climate you got what? You got your rainfall, hence what would be the temperature. It's simple. I hope you get that. Just practice of this diagram itself. Only with this diagram itself you can analyze everything. Use this diagram along with my notes and this would help you out. Now the appraisal of the koppen. See, first of all was that the koppens, yes, first of all is that the empirical classification scheme of the koppen forms one of the most utilized climatic classification schemes for the climatological purpose, because first of all it was simple. Number one, first it was simple. Second, it had wide applicability. But again, the koppen made certain problems. First of the problem was the symbol were very unclear, and second problem was that it took absolute temperature and precipitation into account. First, let's talk about these two problems. First is the unclear symbol means that, see, you witnessed two Fs. One F was your DF. Where was the DF? It was in your temperate type or the taiga type of the climate. Another was your AF. AF was where? In your equatorial. Now in taiga type of the climate, there was only how much centimeter rainfall? 330 centimeter. Whereas on the equatorial side of the climate, it was 300 centimeter of rainfall. So it basically said that this it fails to avail the clarity of big difference amount of the 300 centimeter in the AF type and just 30 centimeter in your DF type. Hence, this was more confusing for the readers, like you guys are confused right now. Next. Flexible utility of the alphabetical symbol is also highlighted in this limitation where the temperature based. See, he used the third level of the alphabetical symbol as you have seen a DFA, DFB, DFC, DFT into account in spite of defining the absolute meaning of the small a, b, c, d types of the climate while utilizing the Koppen have treated alphabets in relative meaning. Means that he said that there is no large difference between a, b, c, d type of means somewhere there is 18 centimeter less, somewhere there is 18 centimeter more, and there is no stark difference. Hence, as a result, it generated confusion. Next, another third criteria it sees that they strongly on the ground of he utilized the value of the temperature and precipitation, the absolute value of the temperature and precipitation. What is this absolute value of temperature and precipitation? He says that take this into you can read this but just understand this. See, in the equatorial region is one of the region, another region is the desert region. No, not the equatorial, let's say desert. Let us say your desert versus your taiga. Taiga was classified as DF, desert was classified as BWH. What was the rainfall? 50 centimeter. What was the rainfall? 30 centimeter. So he took this absolute value, 50 centimeter of the rainfall, 30 centimeter of the rainfall. Now what happened was that near similar amount of precipitation it is generating desert in the tropics, where here, and forest in the subpolar here. Taiga means nothing but a forest. It's taiga forest. From there it gets its name. And this has remained unexplained. With the Koppen scheme based on this limitation, Thornwhite has used this applied category. Yes, with this limitation, Thornwhite's applied category became more prominent. Let's move on to certain other limitation. Now, prior to this, I had already taken a class on air mass. Now you have seen that air mass also has a bigger effect in influencing the climate. Continental polar air mass, maritime equatorial air mass. Now we have included air mass in Koppen's classification, but Koppen never included air mass. Koppen said temperature, precipitation. Done. Koppen never included air mass. To simplify his model, Koppen did not take into account weather element, that is wind, precipitation intensity, cloudiness, nothing was taken into account. Further, the causative factor of the climate has been ignored, that is the air mass, which forms the very basis of the modern climatology, do not find place in the Koppens. I hope you get that. Now, I would just simply request you to go for that diagram, use the diagram to first learn the diagram by heart and then use it in the symbol. Thank you.